So this is going to be part 6 with Leticia Collins. And on my last video, we went over a little bit about the fight that she had with her brother and her mother um, that led up to her going to the hospital. In my opinion, she's doing a little manipulation here. She's got a court date on the 25th, okay? She said her brother assaulted her, and in my last video I was talking about you do see him kind of doing like a body bump, and she went back like either on a couch or a chair. Clearly she's not hurt. She videos herself afterwards. She's not hurt at all. And she did put her hands on him afterwards. You don't really see it because she's filming, but you can see his body go back and he does say something. So she put her hands on him as well. But it seems like she tried to make a police report on him for assault. One thing I don't understand is there is a warrant out for her arrest for the revoke of her bail or her release. Excuse me. It might be the same thing. I'm not sure. But when she goes to the police, I don't understand. If there's a warrant, why aren't they doing anything? I don't get that. But I guess she went ahead and she said that a lady, a policewoman came out and they knew about the warrant or whatever, and they're like, well, we're not going to take you to jail or anything like that. I don't understand that, because she's made it clear in her videos that she is not going to that court date on the 25th. Now, her mother will be the one to get in some sort of trouble because she's responsible for Leticia. I'm having trouble saying her name. She's responsible because she put up the bond. She's responsible for her. So she's made it clear she is not going to that court date because she knows there's a warrant now for her arrest. So she decided that she's going to go to the hospital. Clearly, she is not hurt. She's not complaining about anything. She did a video, or she was still filming after the incident with her brother, and, she said that he headbutted her. She says she's got a bruise. You don't see a bruise, but she says it's on the inside of her jaw, okay? If she says so, all right? But she goes to the hospital. They take her in. And in my opinion, I believe that she went to the hospital and to get checked out, and she wanted her brother arrested. And she was even saying while she was filming, she's filming herself in the hospital. And she's like, well, I hated to do it, but, he's going to go to prison for assaulting me. Well, that didn't happen. I guess the police report didn't get finished, or it wasn't finished, or it was done wrong. I'm not sure. Or that's what she put out. Or maybe they watched the video and they seen exactly what happened, and they seen that she put her hands on him and all he did was that little bump, because she was like in her mom's space getting, nasty with her mom, and he was just trying to get her away from his mother, an elderly woman. So I don't know. Maybe that's why it wasn't going to go any further. But while she's in the hospital, getting checked out or whatever, she tells them that she wants to unalive herself. So automatically, if you say that in a hospital, they're going to have someone watch you. Okay? You're going to be on suicide watch. It doesn't necessarily well, it just depends on what hospital, what their protocol is. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a nurse. It might You know, it could be a CNA, it could be a clerk. Um, but you're going to be on suicide watch until one of their psych doctors comes and talks to you. And that means they have to watch you 24/7. You can't even go to the bathroom without them watching you. The door has to stay open, okay? And they have to watch you at all times. They cannot leave the room without somebody else. If they go on break, somebody else has to come in and be there and sit with you at all times. If you make that claim that you want to do that to yourself, you automatically go on a watch. And I'm sure Leticia has been through this before. She knows this, right? And in my opinion, this is just my opinion, she was thinking that she would be on a watch and be in the hospital and maybe miss this court date because she would be in the hospital, right? And avoid this arrest. Because, hey, I'm in the hospital. I was assaulted by my brother, and then just because of all my trauma, you know, I made this statement, and, you know, now I'm, you know, on a watch, I'm whatever. So I guess when the psych doctor came up and talked with her, she said that he talked her into going to a facility that was like an hour away. And she decided to go. In my opinion, again, I think she went to avoid going to court. That she thought that they were going to keep her, or that she could stay, and they were going to keep her past the 25th, and that would be, you know, they would reschedule. They would reschedule that date because she had a good reason for not being there, because she was in the hospital, right? Because she already said she was not going to go. She would not go back to a psych hospital. She would never do that again, ever, because she's been in them before. But in my opinion, she is trying to manipulate the system because it's getting close to the court date and she knows there's a warrant out for her arrest. So she does go about an hour away. And of course she's complaining about the food because, you know, they can't accommodate her because she's vegan. You know, vegan and vegetarian are different. You know, vegan is completely no dairy, no animal products at all. And, you know, unfortunately, a lot of places like the hospitals and jail, prison, they do not accommodate total vegan. They do have vegetarian, but not vegan. I guess, you know, I don't want to sound mean. I really don't. But because it's great to have a healthy lifestyle, I already said that. But I think that they consider vegan to be a luxury, I guess. It can be more expensive. That's what I'm finding out, you know, just by looking in the grocery store, you know, things that are organic. When I look for certain foods that are organic, unless it's on clearance, it's expensive. It really is. Different vegan stuff is more expensive than buying, you know, meat, just regular meat. It is more expensive. So they're not going to accommodate her. They're not. And so she is blaming the government and stuff for starving her and starving her baby because she can't eat what they're giving her in the hospitals. And, you know, she also said in prison because they're not accommodating her being vegan. Now, they can accommodate, I know in hospitals and stuff, and a lot of restaurants are doing that too. They'll have like a vegetarian um, menu or whatever, but a lot of them aren't doing total vegan because it is more expensive. So, anyways, she's in there, but what she didn't plan on, now she's saying she's in there involuntary. I don't know about that. I don't know if they made her go because of the threats, or if she went involuntary. She might have, or voluntary. I think she said she went voluntary. I'm sorry. I'm not sure. I have no idea. But I think what she was planning on, I think she might have went voluntary. Okay. Um, I think when they assessed her, this is my opinion. This is just my opinion. I think when they assessed her and stuff like that, they did not feel that she was going to harm herself, and I don't know, they just wanted, maybe she asked to go. Okay. I need, because the hospitals are full, I'm sure. They need those beds. Um, she was not physically hurt. Apparently, the baby was fine. She was fine. They need those beds. So, I think, in my opinion, that she's like, well, I need more treatment or whatever because I'm not okay. I'm depressed. I feel this. I feel like I might self harm or whatever. So that's when they said, we got this place that your insurance will pay for because she's on Medicaid, I believe, state insurance. Um, so there's this place an hour away that you can go, and, we can see what we can do. So she went, and I think what she was hoping, like I said, is that they would keep her for a few days, maybe even a little bit longer, and that it was worth it to her to go a little bit longer because she would be away from, her brother, her mom, um, and get a little break from that situation. And she would have a good excuse of not to go to court. And then the way the court systems works, you're not going to get a court date right away. And it would be rescheduled. Sometimes it can get rescheduled, a couple months down the road. That's my opinion. I think what she wasn't counting on is that they would release her right away. Um, for whatever reason, when she got there, I think she only stayed, what, a day? When the doctors talked to her, they're like, okay, maybe they saw through her too and saw that this was a manipulation tactic, that, there's a warrant out for this girl. She's got court on the 25th. Clearly, she said she was assaulted by her brother, and she comes into the ER because she says she was assaulted by him. Clearly, there's no marks on her at all. She says she was headbutted in the face and she's got a bruise. There's no bruise on her face. Clearly, maybe she is trying to manipulate us and to stay out of jail because, she's got court, and we need the beds for people that actually need to be here. So what we're going to do is we're going to release you. We're going to give you some resources because she said she needed resources for housing. Okay? We're going to give you some resources, but we're not going to do the homework for you because they don't do that. And she even, made a claim afterwards. They get paid all this money, all these caseworkers, and they can't do this. Do you know how many clients they have and how many people they see daily? If they tried to do all the paperwork for every single patient or client they had, There's not enough time in the day to do that. Leticia needs to do that homework, okay? She needs to do the work. They can give you resources. They can give you churches. They can give you different housings to, places to call. But she needs to be the one to do it. She is capable, okay? It's clear that she is smart. It's clear that she has, fingers that she can dial, okay? She can make the phone calls. It's clear that she's got all the time in the world to make all these calls, but she won't. She won't put the time into it to try to find housing. Now, from what I am gathering, she makes about $900 a month on disability. Okay? So, again, she's got a lot of advantages that a lot of homeless people don't have. And she won't use those advantages. She gets her food stamps, her WIC. She's got a running car. And she gets a check from the government, but yet she hates the government. Okay? The government's out to get her. We'll get into that in a minute about the government. But, so in my opinion, they released her. And she wasn't counting on that. I guess they gave her a bus ticket or a bus token to be able to get back to her car. And I believe that's an hour away. And she's doing a video like, I can't believe they did this to me. They're just sending me back on the street and this and that. So her plan backfired, in my opinion. Now she's out. Like I said, they probably needed those beds for people that really needed the bed. And it didn't work. Now, I'm not saying that she doesn't need a 5150 on her. And that's not being mean. I'm not being mean at all. She absolutely needs something. I think that the therapist she is seeing is not the right therapist for her. He's an older gentleman, and I know he's getting some backlash from what I'm gathering. People have been calling his practice or writing bad reviews. I don't agree with that, people doing that, but it seems like he's old school. A lot of things have changed over the years with mental health, with medications, with the way people do things. And he is really into the conspiracy theories, like with the government and, medications and stuff like that. They have come a long way with medications. Not saying everybody needs to be drugged either. There's a combined, with therapies, with self-help, and, sometimes medications. But when people are bad off, okay, and it seems like Leticia is bad off, a lot of times medication is necessary when you do have a chemical imbalance, all right? And sometimes they have to switch medications, they have to find that right therapeutic medication to help you. And she is not going to go for that. She is not going to go for any type of therapeutic, or not therapeutic, I'm sorry. She is not going to go for any type of pharmaceutical medications. It's got to be marijuana. Again, not saying that marijuana does not help a lot of people, okay, that have physical or mental issues. They've done studies that it does, but I don't think it's helping Leticia at all. I think it makes it worse, because when she is out, or even when she's on it, she's still talking about self-harming and harming this baby and harming others. So clearly it's not helping her, okay? It hasn't helped her to try to find a home, try to better her life. It hasn't done anything for her in the last couple of years that she has said that she's been homeless. So just putting that out there. So, anyways, now I kind of lost my train of thought, and my stomach is really growling. That's what you're hearing. I'm hungry. But anyways, um, she she really she really didn't think this through. Okay, I think she's been through this song and dance before, and she thought that it was going to work. That's my opinion. That being put in the hospital or being in the hospital would give her a way out, and that the court date would be rescheduled, and she would have more time to kind of think things through. And it didn't work. It didn't work for her. So now she's like, what the F? What am I going to do now? So she is talking about getting on the bus. And now, all of a sudden, she's talking about, I don't even know what to do. Someone had to hold my hand because I didn't even know how to get on a bus or whatever. A lady had to hold my hand and help me. What? This is a woman that can drive. She knows how to do, videos. She knows how to, she's smarter than all of us, right? She's smarter than the doctors. She's smarter than law enforcement, smarter than the judges. But she didn't know how to take a bus and someone had to hold her hand. Like I said, she only brings out the disability card when she's in trouble and she needs to use it as an excuse. Then that's when she brings it out. Any other time, the rest of us are deranged. We're insane. What is wrong with us? We don't know what we're talking about. So she's waiting, and while she's waiting, she's saying, she's out of weed, and she's offering herself up for to get some pot. I'll give you, she's saying the most disgusting things. I will, suck whatever. I will give you whatever for exchange for some pot. And then she lets off of, I think the last that I seen, she's like, oh yeah, there's someone I'm going to get in a vehicle with. And then she comes back with another video that she got into a vehicle with the guy, and he had some pot. And, I could be mixing this up a little bit because I watched a bunch of videos at once. And I did it late because I had a lot going on. So I had to do it, when I had a chance. But she talks about, he was trying to put his hands on her and stuff like that. Well, she did offer up to do whatever. But, he didn't do anything with her. And he told her, well, I'm not going to rape you. Again, for some reason, everybody wants Leticia. Everybody. Everybody wants her. She even made a comment on one of her last videos that her hoo-ha lets off this sweet scent that draws people to her. Okay. So she talks about getting, this ganja and stuff like that. And now she's happy again. She's happy. This guy, she just gets into random people's vehicles. She just does not care. And she's 8 months pregnant. As long as she gets that pot. That's a problem. That is a problem. And a lot of people, I'm going to end it on this. A lot of people are supporting her. when you see the chat and stuff, I mean, you do have a lot of people that are being nasty, but you have a lot of people that literally believe her, and they are sending her money. They are sending her money to support her pot habit. All right. And that's what she's using the money on. She's not using it to try to find resources to save it back to get a home. All right. Or, to get anything for this baby, which hopefully she does not, you know, ever have custody of. She's made it clear that if anybody enters, comes in the home, police or whatever, that she's going to end the baby's life. She also said she's not going to go to the hospital to have this baby. She's going to have it in the tub or whatever, and she's not going to feed the baby. There's no formula. There's no milk. She's not going to breastfeed the baby. She's just going to leave the baby lay there. Okay, she's made that clear. Because if she goes to the hospital, they're going to take the baby away. So, but a lot of people are sending her money. And she is, she's monetized because she has like 4,000 subscribers now. And she hates everybody. She hates all of her subscribers, but she's monetized, so she does get money from that, and she's using that money to buy your pot. All right. I guess, when you're monetized, you can buy whatever you want. It's your money, right? But she hates all of her supporters. She hates y'all. And, people have reached out to her. And again, there's people reaching out saying, we'll give you a place to stay. And you can tell these people are genuine. They're not like your some of the creepy people that are on there. They're saying some really nasty things. I don't agree with some of the things that some of the people are saying. It's one thing to talk about this case. It's another thing to think that she really might need a 5150. Well, I can't say case, to talk about this blogger. It's one thing to say that she needs a 5150, or that she might, she really has some issues going on. It's another, there's some people in there that are really saying, go ahead and off yourself. Just do it. Just do it. There's some people in there saying, I'll be your baby daddy, or I'll be your daddy, just trolling her. Those people are just trolling and being ugly and nasty. That I don't agree with. But you do have some people that absolutely believe her story, totally believe it. You have some people in there that don't believe her story, okay? And they're saying, we don't believe you. We don't believe this happened. You have other people that really care. They're like, we care about you and we care about this baby. Or you have people that they're just like, don't hurt the baby. Just don't do it. Then you have some diehard supporters that are, do you have a Cash App? Whatever, they are sending money. And I don't know what to say about that. It's one thing to support somebody, but you're supporting sending pot, she is smoking so much of it. I mean, it's clear. It's one thing to, like I said, I don't agree with taking anything like that while you're pregnant, okay? But she is smoking so much of it, and she wants to complain about a cigarette being smoked in the house, but she is like continuously, she constantly smoking it and smoking it. And that's where the money is going, is supplying her pot habit. She says she's not doing anything else. I don't know. I'm going to do another video here to kind of catch up there's so much more to be said about this case on some of her, not case, but this vlogger. I keep saying case. It's really not a case on some of the other videos that she's done. But I think we all get the picture here, you know. She does have a lot of issues. Um, I don't want to say that she's, you know, faking to get subs and views on, you know, just being a quote normal person and faking all this what she's putting out there. I think this is how she really feels and acts, and this is her norm, and that's sad. So I'm going to go ahead and end it on that. The next video, we're going to talk about the last video with the knock on the motel door.